Hey everybody, I have been asked to talk a little bit about toe by toe. I am using this with my son, and so I thought I would tell you a little bit about it. First of all, I am not affiliated with toe by toe in any way, but some people have asked if we use automatic spelling, what's a good reading program for reading mechanics? So I just wanted to show you what I use and tell you a little bit about it. It's a little, I feel like not very many people know about Toe by Toe in America because it is a British program and it's finally kind of making its way here. I had not heard about it until last April. A friend of mine uses it with her children, and she told me about it. We went to the same college. We were both trained by the same people to be teachers, and so we have similar teaching styles, and she just really loved it. So a couple of things I want to tell you. It is for children with dyslexia, but it is not Orton Gillingham per se. So there's a lot of people that say, okay, well, if it's not Orton Gillingham, then I don't want anything to do with it. Let me just tell you a little bit about Orton Gillingham. Orton Gillingham is the only researched method or approach that works for kids or for people with dyslexia to teach them to read. But what that means is it's the only one that's researched. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's the only one that works. Just I understand there's a lot of people that really love Orton Gillingham. Please don't misunderstand me. I really love Orton Gillingham, but I have a dyslexic son, and this program is working really well for him, and it's only $35. Okay, again, I'm not affiliated with Toe by Toe in any way except that I'm using the program. They are not paying me to do a commercial or anything. I just really love it, and so I wanted to share that with you. Okay, it is, like I said, written by this lady, Kita Cowling, and she was a British woman. She has passed away, but her children are now kind of keeping the program going. There is an American version. I do want to tell you a little bit about get the American version. For one thing, British spellings are sometimes different, like the word color has a U in it. For another, it says that their alphabet says T is for torch, which is like a flashlight. So the American version says T is for turtle. Let me show you this page. Okay, so I would highly suggest getting the American version. You can order it in the United States from, I think Kathleen Finley is her name, and you can order directly from the company, which I would suggest. There's been some problems with Amazon. They do sell it on Amazon, but there's a lot of mistakes. It's not an official version, and it's actually cheaper to buy from the company. So I can put a link to that in a little bit. Okay, so let me explain what it is. First of all, this has been life-changing for my son. He's really, really doing well. Today he was doing math, and he was actually reading the instructions and answering the questions on his own, and I've never seen him do that before. 4 months ago, he would not have been able to. 4 months ago, he was reading three-letter words, and now he's reading multi-syllables. So I really love that. Okay, so, and I will say, this is not like a fun program, but it works, and the motivation is that the students can tell that it's working, and they can see progress. It's called Toe by Toe because they take little baby steps. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so I'm going to skip to kind of here. All right, so each page is just a series of, like a grid, and you write the month and the day, and then they read either a word or a nonsense word. And if they read it correctly, you give them a check. If they read it incorrectly, you give them a dot. Okay, so here he missed it the first time, and then he got 3 checks. So, and it's every day. So, when he gets 3 checks in a row, then I put a line there. They don't really tell you to do that, but then he's done. He doesn't, on the next day, he doesn't have to read that word. So this in itself is motivational because he's able to see that he's actually learning something. And you set a timer for 15 or 20 minutes. We've gotten to where we do about 15. I think that's about comfortable for us. And you just read through. And again, it's not fun, but slowly but surely it gets a little bit harder each time. And then there are sentences. So after they've learned how to read, these 3-letter words, and sometimes they have an S at the end, then they combine some of those, and then they have to read these sentences. And when they read all the words in the sentence correctly, then they get a check for that. And you don't date that. It's just, let me show you where we are now. So we've been doing this since May, and we are on page, I think, 127. Yeah. So for example, here this is one that he's been working on every day. So there's two sentences that he hasn't finished. Today he read this again, but cinder was hard for him. So I just underlined cinder. Cutting was hard. Doing was hard. Shopping was hard. So when he is able to read all of these, so we'll try again tomorrow. Well, tomorrow's Saturday. I don't usually do it on the weekends. You can, but I don't usually. But on Monday, he'll try it again. If he can read cinder without any help, and get through this sentence, then he gets a check for that. And then, we're done with that page. So each day, I usually go one more column over. So let's see, the 27th, today's the 29th. The 27th, he started this page. So he did one column. And then on the 28th, he did the next column, if that makes sense. And then now we're going through, and I have him read 2 sentences a day. So he read these 2 sentences today. So on Monday, he'll read 2 more, if that makes sense. So we just go a little bit farther every time. So we're on like 4 or 5 pages at a time because he's still trying to do, I'll talk about that in a minute, but he's still trying to finish some of these. The other thing I guess I'm ready to talk about is they have syllable division. Now, there will be some people that don't like the way that they do syllable division because it's not actually the formal way. They have, they have CHATT. I've always been taught that you divide in between double letters, but they say keep them together. It really doesn't matter that much. But it's just a way for them to take little chunks of the word and sound them out. These are what they call polynons, which means that they're not real words. But I love nonsense words because it makes them really stop and think about the rules and think about how to sound them out. So we're still working on a couple of these words. So he has to, in his head, think, okay, plane. Okay. And so he just kind of works through that, tries to to sound it out. If he reads it correctly, he gets a check. So that's kind of what it is. It's very simple for parents. Like I said, it's $35. So I find it's a lot cheaper than a lot of the options for people with dyslexia. And again, I'm not knocking Barton or anything like that. I've seen lots and lots of students do really well with Orton Gillingham approved programs, but this is working really well for us, and it's only $35, which I like, and I can just pick up and go. There's a little coach side on this side of the page that tells the parents how to teach this, and that's it. All I have to do is read this, and then I'm done, which I really love. Now, they say that it's multi-sensory. I would argue that it isn't. What they mean by multi-sensory is that every once in a while they have them write the words. I think that you really need to be using tiles and, kind of manipulating words. So I kind of add my own with that, but it has been a really life-changing program for me. I really love it. I think it pairs really well with automatic spelling. Again, I might be a little biased because I wrote that program, but I just like that it's very gradual, and it really, let me show you the end. Like aghast, rhubarb, gherkin, ghetto. I mean, so it gets really hard, kind of, I guess these are kind of like silent letters. And then, by the end they're reading this. My friend Corey, that was the one that told me about this, said that her daughter was really struggling. She tried lots of different things. Nothing was working. And they went through toe by toe. It took her, I think she said, almost 2 years, which that'll probably be about how long it takes my son. But she said by the end, she was reading Harry Potter with no problem. So it really was a big deal. Now, they do have a couple other programs. They've got a spelling program, and they have a reading comprehension program. I don't know as much about that, but I love Toe by Toe, and I'm really passionate about it. I guess I want to share it with other people because it's really, really helped Josiah with his reading. He's become much more confident. People are noticing. His grandparents just mentioned the other day that he's really getting a lot better at reading, and he's noticing it. He's able to read his own instructions for school, which is life-changing just in itself. And anyway, so that's basically it. If you have any other questions, let me know. I'm looking through my notes. I don't think that I missed anything. So if you have other questions, let me know. I'll put a link for it in the description below here, but hopefully that helps. And I'd be happy to answer any questions you have. All right, guys, have a good day. Bye.